Hey fans, I'm Crazy for Powet.tv and you're watching PowetToys. Now the last video I did was a look at my 2011 pile of loot from BigBadToyStore.com, and one of the figures in that pile of loot was the Hercules Exgraver figure. And I received so many requests to do a review on it, that's exactly what we're going to do today. So we'll be looking at the third-party Exgraver figure from TFC Toys.
Action figures.
So let me give you a little bit of a background about this figure first. Now this is a third-party product. This is in no way licensed from Hasbro. It does not come from Hasbro. It's not designed or manufactured from Hasbro. This comes from a group called TFC Toys. They do not have permission from Hasbro to make these, but they're kind of doing them anyway. So they're not allowed to use the name Transformers or Constructicons or Decepticons or any of those trademark names. In fact, a lot of the time when news sites report on these figures, they call them not Constructicons. So these are designed and manufactured in China. I believe that's where the group is based out of. And this is not meant for small children. There are a couple small parts that could cause a choking hazard. And honestly, I'm not sure what kind of safety tests are done on these kind of third-party type figures. I don't know what kind of paint they use or what have you, but just keep that in mind. These are really meant for adult collectors anyway. But the caveat should be said. So I want to talk risk. This was a very high-risk figure. As a collector, this was a big question mark. The pre-order was for about $100. So not only are you signing on for a $100 figure that you don't know what you're getting for, there are also 5 other figures that he's going to combine with that you also don't know what you're going to get. And each of those will, presumably also cost $100. So you're putting down $100 saying that you're going to invest $500 more on this set of figures. And that's very risky. You also, it also wasn't very clear how much articulation he had. We had seen some photos with different poses and action shots, and it gave you an idea. But you don't know how tight or how loose those joints are going to be. You also don't know what the paint applications will be like. It may be very sloppy. What we saw was a prototype, pictures of a prototype. Something else is, you don't know what kind of plastic they're using. It could be very cheap. And at the time of the pre-order, we had only seen 1 or 2 of the other 6 figures. So it's, we really didn't know what we'd be getting. So it was a very high risk pre-order. I decided to do it. If I didn't like the first figure, that was it. Thankfully they're offering these separately, and then they're not doing one big group package at once, for $600, because I wouldn't even consider that. But thankfully, this risk seemed to pay off so far. And I'll talk more about that as the review goes on. Packaging. Exgraver came in a window box like this. It came packaged in robot mode. Came with 2 small guns on his shoulders. Those were attached to him. Left fist for Hercules. It's the construction shovel for his alt mode. Exgraver came with an instruction sheet that has his name misspelled, calling him Exgaver instead of Exgraver. And he came with this file card with some cool art on there and tech specs on the back. Now, I actually compared those tech specs to the Generation 1 Scavenger, who this non-Constructicon is based off of, And the only two skills that actually matched up were in fact the strength and skill, the top and the bottom stats. None of the others actually matched up. One of the first things about the robot mode I want to show you are actually the accessories. Now, on the back, there is this little piece that forms kind of the cockpit for the crane mode. Not crane mode, but shovel mode. And this is how it was when I got it in the package, like this. But in a lot of the reference material, it is actually on the underside of one of his fists, which is where it will end up being, if you were actually to transform him appropriately. So I'm just going to put that down there. Two guns that come on his shoulders, those come off. He can hold them in his hands. In the combiner mode, all 6 of the figure's weapons will combine into one large kind of rifle for Hercules to hold, which is a pretty neat concept, and I look forward to seeing how all of that is going to be executed. As far as articulation goes, I'll just show you. He has a ball joint for the head, swiveling shoulder. That can also, move up like that as well. He has a swiveling bicep, hinged elbow, and a swiveling wrist. So that's it for the arm articulation. He has a swiveling waist, swiveling thigh, ball joint at the hip, of course his arms blocking. He has hinged knees, and his toes, well, they don't really articulate much aside from moving out back into the tread for the alt mode. But overall, he's very poseable, and you can really get some great action shots, due to all of the posability. So that was a nice surprise. And here is Exgraver, the excavation mode. And really, this mode is just fantastic as a construction vehicle. The articulating shovel really just brings it home, especially with the kind of working pistons here and on the sides. Really kind of brings a little level of legitimacy and kind of realism to the vehicle. There's another one right there. It does have wheels. Okay, I got some paper that would have better traction for the wheels so you can hear it rolling and see it rolling. Now, one of my wheels is actually uneven, which makes a strange sound as it rolls, but I actually really like it because it kind of sounds like a revving engine. Rather. Here is a gigantic arm that won't even fit on screen. So let me zoom out just a little bit. Yeah, so there are 2 different ways to have this. If you like Devastator from the Constructicons, you can leave this out. You can leave the arm out like that, just like it is in the show, or you can fold it all. You can rotate it all the way around, and whoops, you can rotate it all the way around and have it kind of come down and fit right on top of the head, like scoops the head like that, and then you have a nice looking shoulder that's pretty tight, doesn't get in the way or anything like that. And this is a major selling point for this figure. I just love how articulated this hand is, as you can just get some really amazing natural poses. Now the connection point is right here, and that needs to be folded down. It's an extremely tight joint initially. I actually broke half my nail off when trying to get it to move when I first tried to move it. Now, this connection point may look familiar to you. Many longtime Transformers fans will remember the connection ports for the Transformers Energon combiners. As it happens, I just happen to have Barricade from the Combaticon team. Barricade formed the head, obviously, the upper torso, where the arms and legs both connected. Now I checked out some pictures online of Heavy Labor, who's going to be the second figure and the lower torso, so the legs will connect to Heavy Labor. And the connection ports on his legs looked just like those. So on a whim, I took out Barricade and I affixed Exgraver here to the arm, and it is a tight fit, but once it's on, wow. I need to zoom out again. That's just how big this figure is. Get my notebook out of the way here. I mean, this combined Hercules mode is going to be enormous, which is pretty fantastic for a combined mode. Now, I wouldn't really recommend leaving him on an Energon combiner figure, because the weight of Exgraver is significantly more than the weight of Barricade. I'm afraid he's just going to fall off, but it is a very solid connection, so it moves very, very well, and it looks just very, very natural. So I'm not normally a big proponent of third-party products, but I'm very pleased with how this first figure turned out, and I look forward to more. It's a shame that the not Constructicon Hook, whatever his name is, I can't remember, isn't coming out next, so we can actually affix Exgraver to him. But next up is Heavy Labor, so we'll take a look at him when he comes out. That about wraps things up on the Hercules Exgraver front. If you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, feel free to shoot me an email at crazy@powet.tv. Remember to check out Powet.tv for all your news on gaming, comics, toys, movies, music, and a whole lot more. And remember, kids, open your toys. Only you can prevent artificially high prices on eBay.